all this time to get attention and said I do this. Guys, how's everyone doing? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I just went through a breakup. Thank you. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I actually had to have the guy's number blocked. Can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Is this my light? Mom, is my hair okay? She's harassing me that I don't have a brush, and she's like, "Oh, it's gonna be awful. Your hair looks bad. It's fucked up." Anyway, yeah. So I went through a breakup. It's a pretty tough one. I actually had to have the guy's number blocked. You know, like just like as a precaution. He wasn't necessarily stalking me yet, but I had to block him, you know, just in case he doesn't stalk me. You know? I don't want to know. I just want to assume that he harassed me on all social media platforms forever and ever and ever, just like all my other exes did. I can only imagine. Hold on, I'm going to put this down. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm doing okay though. He was kind of a dick. Like, he would say stupid things. Like, one time I had a copy of Cosmo laying around with Megan Fox on the cover, and he was like, "Oh, that Megan Fox, she's pretty hot." And I was like, "Yes, thank you, Christopher Columbus, for that enlightening discovery. Yeah, Megan Fox is super hot, but I have it on pretty good authority that she sucks at software engineering." And that's what I do professionally. You know, like, I mean, I try to be a hot girl in my free time. She doesn't dabble in my shit, so I guess we're not. It's not even a tie. I'm winning. Thank you. I'm a coder, so yeah, to say another woman is hotter than me is already misogynist. What else, you guys? Yeah, it's okay. Did anyone else like have a relationship that couldn't survive the pandemic? Okay, just me? Fine. Anyone else have a relationship that could only survive the pandemic? Okay, some of them are here tonight. I see a few thruples. A lot of people are experimenting. A lot of people doing different things. I mean, oh yeah, my friend was in one of those relationships that could only survive the pandemic. She knew he seemed a little too good to be true, and the other day she called me and she was like, "We're vaxxed now," and I figured out what it is. He actually only wears sweatpants. I thought this was a pandemic thing, but no. It's just who he is. So yeah, she dumped him. It makes sense to me. Yeah, I had a fun week at work. I just did like a week that was like not a real work week. It was just like a training, you know? We did a mandatory sexual harassment training. Like I said, I'm a software engineer. I'm the only girl on the team, so I was asking for it. The training, not the harassment, as I keep reminding my colleagues. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know the technical definition of sexual harassment, it's when somebody that you work with hits on you or touches you inappropriately and they're not hot. It's awful. Yeah, what this guy did to me, it was actually like pretty egregious. Like, he took his hand and he like credit card swiped my butt crack.
Yeah.
In the elevator. I was like, "Dude, come on. It's a chip. Please insert. Or tap. I mean, give up the times." It's even worse because this guy is just like, he's the kind of guy I just don't like. Like, he is one of those metrosexuals, you know what I mean? Like, he's one of those guys who's sexually attracted to the New York City subway system. You know what I mean? Oh, did you think that the software engineer I work with is stylish and well-groomed? No. He's Rain Man. And he has a boner for trains, planes, big machines, crypto. Anyway, yeah, what was I going to tell you guys about? I really wanted to talk about astrology tonight. Anyone here into astrology? Oh, okay. I thought my friends were like into science. It's okay. Yeah, one of my best friends, Alexis, that's her real name. It's so fucked up. I always use her real name because she like doesn't live here anymore, and then I send her videos of the sets. One of my best friends is super into astrology, and the other day she was like, Betsy, I know you don't believe in this shit, but just hear me out, okay? Like, I went to a party and the background is her astrologist told her that she was going to end up marrying a Pisces, which is like something I've known forever. And it's like, I feel like it's like limiting at some point, you know. Anyway, she was like, you know, I know you don't believe this shit, but I went to a party and I hit it off with this guy and we were just like really connecting. And then he asked me out on a date and turns out, you know, guess what his sign is? And I was like, Pisces. And she was like, yeah, what are the odds of that? I was like, well, 1 in 12. Not that hard to figure out. So crazy. So, I feel like this, is the mic weird? Is it me? Okay. Thank you, Al. Oh, my other stage mom. I was like, yeah, no, that's totally crazy. I also had something statistically wild happen to me today. I was walking down the street and I saw a car with the license plate GSQ 8L07. You know, like, what are the odds of that? Definitely lower than your thing. And she was like, she's such a positive sweetheart. She was like, oh, okay. Do those numbers mean something to you? And I was like, no, but if they did, I would be on the lookout for them in my daily life. And then when I inevitably saw them, I would be quite moved by that. And that's how astrology works. It's also how QAnon works. Can we all just acknowledge that QAnon is astrology for Proud Boys? I have to admit, I went through a time of being like dabbling into the extreme right by accident because I just went so far left, you know? Anyone get what I mean? A little bit? I mean, I'll just say it up front. I've had the vax, but for a little bit, I had a brief anti-vaxxer phase. Shout out to my friends who essentially roofied me with the vax over there. Yeah, you're welcome, everybody. You're welcome, society. Yeah, I think that it's just actually like kind of my duty as like what I like to fancy myself as like a BLM Conrad. It's like, it's obviously my duty to question a system that is totally evil all the time. Like, why should we believe that they're doing a good job at this? Like, we just did a Theranos. You know, like, did we forget about Fire Festival? This could be, okay, anyway, I just think that it's a little bit fucked up to be like, come on, everyone who's in charge knows what they're doing and they're doing a great job, you know? Because they're not. I ended up getting it just so I could like go to a friend's wedding without like bothering her. And that's really nice of me. So yeah, what I'm saying is that I went, you know, it's confusing even to me. I'll admit that. Like, I accidentally became alt-right because like, in my mind, it's because like I'm into BLM. And so then I was like, okay, wait. I am so close to being a flat earther. The only thing saving me is that I know it must be round because I came around the back, you know? I went so far left that I got extreme right. So now I came in through the back door of right-wing extremism. So then I realized, okay, I'm gonna cause harm, I gotta chill. I gotta just like get up to the cusp and then stop, but it's hard to find where that is all the time. Like, here's the thing, like, you know, I'm not one of those comics who's like complaining about like wokeness or whatever, because like I'm not. I'm like, just tell me what's the most woke thing to do and I'll do it, you know? Like, literally, seriously, anything. I'll Molotov cocktail, like Drex, if that helps. I don't know, like if someone told me, I'll do it. Is that fucked up? If Drex told me, I'm not 18. Oh my God. I do think though that like it is a weird thing right now that we're going through because like I want to do the right thing as I said, but it's a little bit hard to tell like what is the right thing sometimes. Like I sometimes feel like I have like a woke devil and a woke angel. Like the other day I saw a Mormon family in the Botanic Gardens, and it was like just typical family, one husband, 3 wives, 20 kids, and my woke angel was like, oh, like, that's so fucked up, like he's oppressing them, and like they're being gaslit, and they are, clearly being brainwashed and like abused. And then the woke devil was like, girl, they're poly. Like, oh, are you gonna kink shame these bitches because they're subs? They are subs. What if they're into it? I don't know. If I kink shame them, then I'm the oppressor again. It's a fine line. All I'm saying is, I just don't know these days. Anyways, back to my dating life. Yeah. So, what else, guys? Yeah, I did recently go on a first date that I was just like not into the guy, and then after the date he didn't like text me to ask me out again, so I was like, I'm intrigued into him again. But I'm not really used to like texting the guy first, so I thought for a really long time about what to say, and then I was like, hey, I finally got that stain out of my dress. Who knew linen could harden like that? Yeah, and he didn't respond. So I had to do damage control, so I thought about it for a while. I recovered, guys. I said, whoops, wrong text. Anyways, what are you up to? Oh man, there's so many people over here. It's hard for me to see what's going on, I'm sorry. What else did I want to tell you guys about? I recently, being single again, I did the responsible thing. I got retested for ADHD. Because if I'm going to be on these apps, I'm going to need Adderall. And I'm going to need to be skinny, and I'm going to need to be productive. It takes up a lot of time. Also, because, when you get retested, you have to go to the doctor's office, and doctor's offices are a great place to meet doctors. So, so I got retested, and in the words of my future cougar self, I still got it. I thought it was kind of crazy, though, when during my evaluation, my doctor said, on a scale of 1 to 10, on a scale of Kardashians, fuck, I already fucked it. Pretend I didn't say 1 to 10. On a scale of Kardashians, rate your love life. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, it's kind of a train wreck, so I'm tempted to give it a Lamar, but it's also like very like poetic and artistic and fascinating. So I'll give it a Kanye. And he was like, Betsy, the question was, on a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult is it for you to focus in a one-on-one conversation? This is a true story, by the way. I'm not joking. And he seemed pretty annoyed with me, and I was like, I much preferred what we were talking about before. Let's just get back to that. He seemed frustrated, but I know I'm still one of his favorite patients because during our sessions together, he's always saying fascinating. And like writing down a lot. And he did an fMRI scan of my brain. Just like for a textbook, it's pretty normal. Yeah, I actually did meet a guy in the doctor's office that day. Unfortunately, not a doctor, another patient. So yeah, he also has ADHD. And it's good because like we have a lot in common, like quite a bit of debt. And thorough knowledge of all of the internet. All memes, all the time, all Reddit, QAnon, whatever. But yeah, we're still not a good match because, the sex together is terrible because neither of us could finish anything. Yeah, it's my time. Oh, he's giving me I don't know what that means. Okay. 2? Oh, 2 more. Okay, wow, that's good. Let me see what she's got. Any requests? Greatest hits, we got it. Okay.
Free bird.
I know. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I know like a friend who like likes this weird joke. Anyway, so I'm 32 now. This is my 32nd birthday. Thank you guys. I'm 32 and unmarried, but nevertheless, getting pregnant and becoming a mother has always been a dream of mine. Thank you. Everyone's like, please don't. Doesn't seem right. Yeah, no, usually I wake up screaming and then take a bunch of birth control pills at once. It's a nightmare. It's a recurring dream. Luckily, that's how I never missed a pill. I'm also on the patch, but I'm not, like I was on the patch first or I switched from the pill to the patch and I'm like, okay, I'm not sure what's doing what anymore, you know? Is this, you don't take down your umbrella just because you're not getting wet, am I right? You know? Getting the IUD installed next week. Yeah, so speaking of pregnancy and contraception, I actually at one time in my life was a baby. I was a teeny little baby, and I was just like looking back on that time, I was just so naive, you know, like I believed anything anyone told me. Like I believed in mythical creatures like mermaids and unicorns and giraffes. And now when I look back on that, I'm like, obviously that's not real, you know, like a giraffe, get the fuck out of here. That can't be right. It's gotta be a hologram. There's gotta be some CGI involved, you know? When you see them at the zoo, it's gotta be, something's happening. That's not right. You know, it's like a dino. It's like Jurassic Park. Yeah, it looks really realistic, but it's not real. But, no, I'm just kidding. I know giraffes are real, but I know that the image that we see with them in the media with that really thin neck, it's not real. That is just a product of the fashion industry. And it breaks my heart when I think about all the little girl giraffes at home reading National Geographic and just seeing these like slender, gorgeous goddess giraffes and thinking that this is an achievable dream. And it's like, you know, this is why there's so few giraffes in STEM. Okay, I think that's my time. Give it up for me.